Pokemon are fictional creatures, and with it come fictional names. Now, while some of the English names for Pokemon are admittedly pretty poor, Seal, with an E instead of an A, a handful of the Japanese names for Pokemon are just plain ridiculous, especially coming from the viewpoint of an English speaker. Here are 10 of the most ridiculous Japanese names for Pokemon. Umbreon is a wild favorite among Eevee fans. Umbra in Latin means shadow or ghost, and Eon, which is the original prototype name for Eevee itself, is a shortened form of the word evolution. Cool name, right? Well, the Japanese name for this Pokemon is Blacky. Yes, Blacky. It's supposed to be a combination of the words black and lucky, since black cats in Japan are considered lucky. But watch this thing in action in the anime and you can't help but feel a little bit awkward while it runs around screaming its name. Metagross is actually one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, but one of its pre-evolutions really got shafted when it came to being named. Beldum's name is easy to pull the reference from. Just switch the two syllables around in the word dumbbell. Dumb, bell, bell, dumb. The Japanese version's name is also named after this weightlifting tool. However, instead of just flipping the syllables, they named it Dumber. Metagross and Metang both retain the same name in Japanese, but their pre-evolution Beldum was straight up named Dumber. Now, this next evolution line is a little bit more well known than the rest of the Pokemon on this list. I would venture a good handful of you know that Magmar's Japanese name is a little strange. While Magmar is clearly named after magma in English, you know, like the hot stuff, Magmar's Japanese name is Boober. It wasn't named after the body part or anything, it's actually named after a bird called the Boobie. And this shows why Magmar kinda has avian features. But then they needed a new name for Magby, of course. So what did they settle on? Boobie. Yes, Boobie. In English, Magby is named after magma, once again, and baby, since it's a baby Pokemon, hence Magby. But in Japanese, they wanted it to be a baby Boobie, which just ends up being Boobie. Oh god, this next one's pretty tough. So, Mandabuzz is a cool Pokemon, right? Its name in English stems from the words mandible, which is the word for your lower jaw, and buzzard, which is a North American vulture. Well, the Japanese name for this bird is Vulgina. Vulgina. The species name apparently comes from the words vulture, makes sense, and the word regina, which is Latin for queen. Did you know that there are only female Mandabuzz out in the wild? Great, let's name them Vulgina. I think these next two are probably my favorites. So yeah, sometimes the English name for Pokemon isn't so creative. I used Seal as an example earlier, but Drowsy is the word drowsy, just spelled with two E's instead of a Y. Now you may think that's kind of a lazy name, but when you realize that Drowsy's Japanese name is literally just the word sleep, you can kind of give the English translator a break. Yes, the Japanese named Drowsy sleep. Go sleep. Attack sleep. Like what? So then Hypno has at least a tiny bit cooler name, right? Being based off of the word hypnosis. Here comes Japan again. They named that shit Sleeper. Sleeper, I mean it's sleep and sleeper. Please keep in mind, both of these Pokemon's main abilities can be insomnia, which is a term for the inability to sleep. I can't. I'm sorry, I just can't. So truthfully, the Generation 1 naming people didn't really expect Pokemon to last as long as it did. That's why there's a good handful of early Pokemon whose names are a bit, well, strange. Ghastly and Haunter are no exception to this rule. Ghastly is named after the English word ghastly, just without the H in it, meaning something that is frightening or horrible, while Haunter's name stems from the word haunt, which totally makes sense because that's what ghosts do. Japan to the rescue once again. Ghastly in Japanese is called Ghost, which is ghost without the T. You can see how they got the great idea to pull the H from the English word now though, huh? On the other hand, they called Haunter Ghost, which is ghost with the T. Ghost and Ghost, man. Damn, that's hype. And to finish us out for today, who could forget the first Pokemon we all caught in Red and Blue? If you caught Rattata first, seriously dude, what were you doing? Pidgey's a cool Pokemon, right? Its name is actually an onomatopoeia of the sound a pigeon makes to the Japanese, Popo. However, once that bird evolved, we were given Pidgeotto, who honestly was pretty hype. In English, Pidgeotto is a combination of the words pigeon and Diciotto, which is Italian for the number 18, the level Pidgey evolves into Pidgeotto. That's pretty sweet. But if you are in Japan, you can't call Pidgeotto Pidgeotto. No, you have to call it by its Japanese name. In Japan, Popo evolves into Pigeon. Its name is literally Pigeon. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching my video today. If you guys enjoyed it, please drop a like and maybe even hit that subscribe button. I can't force you to do it, but if I could, I would. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.